Hello.
Hello สวัสดีค่ะ
Hello. How are you today?
I'm fine
Okay, great. Let's hear Sipti's exciting introduction. Ready?
เดี๋ยว
Try again. Let's hear the most exciting introduction that Sipti can give.
Hello สวัสดีค่ะ
No. Let's try exciting. Make everyone feel like they're ready for the exciting adventure of the class.
or
No, you introduce us. You get us ready. Ready?
Hello
No. You got to get people excited and ready for the show.
Hello everyone
No. You got to get people ready. Get them excited. They got to come back again and again and again.
How to do that
That's what we have to practice. Okay, you show us.
Hi everyone
Okay, but then what will you
Hi
say after that?
everyone Hi everyone
Okay, you introduce the show today. Okay, you start.
No
You
no.
start. You start for us.
Hi John How are you today
Good, thanks.
What are we gonna learn today
I don't know. Like when I started, people used to ask me, they said, John, how are we going to learn English? I said, I have no idea. I don't know. And then after a long time, I started to have a few ideas. They didn't work very well. But then eventually, after 8,000
It doesn't work
people, it got a little bit easier. Okay, then let's get to Sipti's exciting question if she doesn't have an exciting
I have
introduction.
question
Okay.
A question What does restraint RASTRAINT
Restraint.
Means what does restraint means
No, what does
Mean.
restraint mean?
Mean.
Yeah. There are two types. Restraints these are handcuffs. But if you tie someone down, those can be called restraints. If you don't know what they're called, if you don't know if they're ropes or chains, or if you don't know what's holding you down, we just call them all restraints. If someone is being held down, we say you are being restrained. You are being held down. But restraint can also mean that you don't get angry. So if someone is mean to you, if they say something mean, like Sipti, I don't like your hair, and then you say, oh, I gotta restrain myself. That means you stop yourself from getting angry.
Stop myself to getting
From
getting angry.
Yeah. So you can say, I need more restraint. Restraints with an S would mean things that were holding you down. But restraint with no S means the ability not to get angry when someone yells at you or says they don't like your show or the cameras turn off. We lost a great episode. So 362, you can see 362, but really 362 is 363. 362 was lost. I deleted the videos from this camera, so unfortunately you won't be able to see that episode. It was very good. That was one of the episodes where Sipti was telling her opinions of the controversial discussion topics. It was a great show.
I think that is bad.
It was a great show, but it was lost, unfortunately. Lost into the ether forever.
Last time?
No, a couple episodes ago.
Oh,
I don't remember what this is.
I thought
This might be 364. It was 3 episodes ago, I think. Yeah, we lost a great episode. Anyway, that's what happens sometimes.
I need more
Restraint.
restraints.
Yeah. Okay, let's hear Sipti's exciting attempt of using restraint in a sentence. And I'll try to restrain myself
I need
from
more.
helping.
It's simple. I need more information. No?
Give it a try, and I'll tell you. Quick.
I can't have restraint.
Restraint.
Oh no,
Restraint.
it's I can't have restraint.
Restraint.
Why sounds different?
Why does
Sound?
it
Why does it different?
sound?
Different.
Well, I speak English and you don't.
Restraint.
It's close. It's close enough.
Restraint.
Your stress is usually on the wrong part of the word. You don't stress the right part of the word. But that takes a long time to hear.
I can't have restraint. To be calm.
I don't have enough restraint.
I don't have enough restraint.
Restraint. To be calm. When John
yells at me.
Okay. Sometimes it's hard for the words to come out.
Yes.
Okay, that happens usually after the show every day, right, Soji? Okay. Anyway, another exciting question?
I don't know about these word before.
I never heard. I'm sure there are there are thousands of English words that you don't know yet. Some of them are important, some of them are not. That's why we talk about the ones that are needed in your life.
We need restraint.
If I haven't said it, then it might not be necessary.
No, I mean I need more restraint.
Why?
No, nothing. I just kidding. You yell at me a lot.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I need more restraint.
Not restraint.
Restraint.
No,
Restraint.
because if you need restraint, that means that you're mean to people.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think
Restraint means that
to
you
calm down.
No, restraint means that you don't get angry. So if you said, I need more restraint, that means that you like to hurt people and yell at them all the time. So what you said there was that you yell at me a lot and you're too aggressive and you need more restraint to hold yourself down. So probably you mean I need more energy or confidence or capabilities. Restraint would mean that you're a mean, violent person. Which is true. Watch out. No. Okay. B, remember B? Probably he's dead because Suti killed him.
No.
Okay.
The rats.
The rats killed him. Exactly. Okay, anyway, questions for us?
No.
Another exciting question?
No.
Okay, well then today we're here to talk about my favorite subject, which is Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Do you know what Bitcoin is?
Bitcoin is popular business right now.
Not a business.
I don't know, but it's popular.
Yes, that's right.
People
Do you know why?
can make money from it.
Yeah. Do you know why it's popular?
I don't know.
Right. Well, that's why.
Do you know in a movie, right?
No, it's new. It's not in very many movies.
But it happened.
There's no reference.
10 or many years ago.
Yes, that's right. Almost 12, 13 years. But it's not in very many movies. On TV, maybe you mean TV shows, yes. But in movies, I have not heard very many references, just in very, very small movies on YouTube or something.
What
Anyway, do
is-
you know what YouTube? Do you know what YouTube is? Do you know what Bitcoin is?
No,
What do you think?
it's
What do you
about money.
think? Yes, that's right. Yes, exactly. So it looks like baht, but it's not. It's Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin, not Thai
Different if
baht.
but it's
Yeah, it's a line. Yeah.
some people told me if you buy Bitcoin for
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin last 10 years
10 years ago.
10 years ago 30,000 baht right now you would have 10 or but many millions
Yes, that's true.
I don't know about that
Right. Bitcoin is extremely difficult to explain. I cannot explain Bitcoin to people who speak English. It's very, very difficult, and the chance that I will succeed,
you think I will understand
I'm gonna try. It will be funny, but it's very, very, very difficult. So, who told you about Bitcoin? Where did you hear about it? What did they say? What did they say?
Right now, a lot of people
Are
are interested in Bitcoin. They wanted to invent. I don't know.
invest?
Invest
Yeah,
with that
not with in.
in Bitcoin.
But what is it? Do they know what it is? They just say I want it, but I don't know what it is, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's very complicated, and Bitcoin gets popular every time the price goes up. So right now the price is going up, so people are interested. Then the price crashes, and people say, it was garbage. And then it goes up, and people say, and then it goes down. It goes up and down, up and down.
Everything up and down.
But mostly up. But there are some horrible red, bloody waterfalls, as Bitcoin traders call them, where it goes down. Anyway, let me try to explain this as best I can. So, I have been a programmer for a long time, and that's how I understood what this was. I first heard about Bitcoin in 2012, probably, and I didn't understand what it was, but I started reading about it, and I started researching about it, and at that time there wasn't very much information. People who were smart kept their mouth shut and were just buying it or building their own applications, and the people who didn't really know were writing papers
Because
online.
they don't want other people to be rich.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they just were interested in building something or in mining, and they didn't really care if other people understood or not. So it was very hard in the beginning to understand. Nowadays it's not. You can go online, you can watch a video in Thai, and probably you'll understand a little bit. A lot of people now are very good at explaining it, actually. So nowadays it's pretty easy. But at that time it was very hard. It took me 6 months to understand what it was. So a long time ago, okay, there was, when the internet began, a long time ago, 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, I don't know, there were different types of nets in the beginning. In the beginning, the internet, people wanted a money for the internet. Because everyone had the idea to make Amazon, Shopee, eBay. Everyone had that idea. The problem was money. No one wanted to give their credit card to someone on the internet who they didn't know, right? It's okay if you give your credit card to 7-Eleven because you trust that 7-Eleven is not going to buy things with your credit card. But credit cards are not that secure if someone else has your credit card. And so people were interested in making websites and selling things online because it was cheaper and easier, but the problem was the money. And so a lot of people started to think, how are we going to build money for the internet? And a lot of people had different ideas. One of the ideas was PayPal. Elon Musk had the same idea. He wanted to build a type of Bitcoin. But Elon Musk, he doesn't necessarily always build things that are the most advanced. He goes for this, sometimes for the easiest path. And his idea for internet money was the easier path, which was PayPal. Have you ever heard of PayPal? PayPal is a huge company. They allow you to send money between people, between different countries. It's pretty easy. But it's not that complicated. What they do is they take your money and they hold it in their bank. And then if you want to send money to me, they just put the number in my account, but the money always is in their bank account. And then if I want to use that money, then they just give me some of the money from their bank account. So it was a better idea for the internet because I don't have to give you my credit card number. I just send the money to your email address on PayPal. You don't know my credit card number, you don't know my bank account number, but you probably do know my address and my full name, but you don't have access to my credit card. So you can't really steal any money from me. So PayPal was a good solution, and it worked very easily, and it's still around. It makes a lot of money. People love PayPal. But
now.
It's not as advanced as Bitcoin is. But PayPal was a great, easy solution at that time to solve the problem of internet money. But not that many programmers were impressed with PayPal. They said, this is cool, it's fun, you can send money around, but it doesn't really fix the problems of money on the internet because PayPal still needs a bank, they still need an office, they still need headquarters, they still have to talk with different governments, and so they have to follow regulations of each and every country, which is really hard, and it raises their costs, and so then the costs are higher. Anyway, I use PayPal, it's great, it works, but it's not like Bitcoin. So another idea that someone had was called, one of the first internet monies was called DigiCash.
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 Digital cash.
Yeah, exactly. Digi is short for like digital, and cash means money. So DigiCash was one of the first real ways that people attempted to build internet money, better than PayPal. So DigiCash, I didn't do a lot of research on DigiCash because it was already very old by the time I even learned about Bitcoin. But DigiCash, as I would guess, because if I was building DigiCash, I would do it like that. It had some kind of server. There was a website, and then each person had a key, like a password, on their computer. And if I wanted to send money to you, I would say, okay, send my money from my password to Sipti's password. And then your computer would call to the website and make sure that I'm not lying. And then if the website said, yes, that's true, and you showed them my password or my key, then they would say, okay, yes, Sipti now has that money, right? The problem of internet money is called double spending.
Double spending.
Double means two, and spending means jai, right? So song jai, double spending. So the problem is, if I have internet money and I send it to you, and then after I send it to you, I also send it to your friend and to my friend, then how do you know which one is real, right? If we're in real life, it's easy to know that this is 1, 2, 3. But on the internet, it's not easy to know which one is the original one and which one is a copy. It's very difficult. And so the problem of internet money is, how do you know if I send you money that it's real money and then it's not the same as me sending that money to someone else later? That's called double spending. So PayPal doesn't have a problem with double spending because they have their website. They know all of the transactions, they know all of the people, they know everything. So they don't have that problem. But if you want to make internet money, you have a problem with double spending. Because how do we know that my coin is real and your coin is a lie, or your coin is fake? That's very difficult to fix. And so what DigiCash did was, kind of like PayPal, they had a server, they had a website, and they controlled all of the transactions. So probably they couldn't stop a transaction, I'm not sure, but they saw the transactions. So if you wanted to buy something and you didn't have any money, then the server would say, no, Simply has no money. That was DigiCash. The problem is that DigiCash was pretty popular and criminals started to use it because you didn't need any identification. So right now, if you want to go to Bangkok Bank and get an online application, they need your passport, your ID card, your name, your address, your phone number, all of those things. So if you commit a crime, it's easy for them to find you, right? But DigiCash, you didn't need any type of identification. It's like having a piece of gold or having money. You can use it wherever you want, and there's no identification, right? You can give a kid 100 baht. They don't need to give you their ID card to get that money. So a lot of criminals started to use DigiCash on the internet. And the United States government and other governments said, we don't like this. There's criminals and terrorists using this. So they went to the company and they closed them down. And DigiCash was destroyed. It was broken. A lot of programmers, though, they thought, wow, this DigiCash was very popular. It worked very well. People really loved it. The only problem was that it had a server. There was a company that owned the server. And so the government or the police could go to that server and close it down. So programmers started to think, okay, we need to build DigiCash, but we got to get rid of the server.
How to do it?
Right. And so it took about 20 years until somebody, that person is called Satoshi Nakamoto, the person who supposedly built Bitcoin. It might be his real name, it might not be, because we don't know who that person is. But in 2009, in January 2009, that person who called himself or herself Satoshi Nakamoto created a solution to that problem. How they solved that problem is really, really difficult. And it's really hard to explain.
By himself?
It could have been one person, it could have been many people, I don't know. Because those people or that person didn't want to be known, so they just released the program onto the internet and they didn't say who they were. They kept their identity a secret. Anyway, so other programmers, though, looked through the code and said, wow, this finally is the solution to that server problem that we had. So how did he solve that problem? That's really, really difficult. What that person did, I'll call it, I'm going to say he. I don't know that it's a he, but I'm going to just call them he. No, I'm just going to call him he because Satoshi Nakamoto is a boy's name. So probably we can just say he, that's fine. Anyway, that person, he came up with a really great idea, which I have not seen before, and I don't know anyone else has seen before. It's a really great idea. It's not that complicated if you're a programmer and you have experience in cryptography. Cryptography is the computer science of hiding messages. So if I send you a message and it looks like 0010001 and it doesn't look like the real message, it's hidden, we call that cryptography.
Like XX?
Not XX, hiding something, like a code. So instead of ABC, it looks like this and like this and like this. It's a code, right? It's called cryptography. If you know about cryptography, then Bitcoin is not that complicated. But it's very hard for someone to imagine how to make this. It doesn't seem to me like a logical step. It's very complicated. Anyway, let me try to explain it. So he created something called mining. Bitcoin mining.
Mining.
Yeah, mining. Mining is when you dig for something. So if you dig for oil, that's called mining. If you go for gold, if you go into a hole in the ground and you try to find gold with a shovel, we call that mining. It means trying to get something out of the ground that's valuable. So he created what's called Bitcoin mining. And it's not that easy, but let me see if I can maybe explain it in a simple way. So if you each time you send somebody money using Bitcoin, it has to be in a place where everyone can see the transaction. Because you need to know that I didn't send my Bitcoin to your friend and to you and to my sister. Somehow you have to be able to look on the internet somewhere and see, is John lying or is he not lying? That's hard because if we don't have a server like DigiCash, if we don't have one place where you can look, then where are you going to look? Now, you could say, well, John, we can just have everyone on the internet save the same information. Seems like a good idea. The problem is, what if I say that I have 100 Bitcoins, and then you say you have 100 Bitcoins, and your friend says they have 100 Bitcoins? How do we all know who is telling the truth and who's not? This is called consensus. How do we know which one is real and which one's not? That's very difficult to solve. So what Satoshi Nakamoto did was he said, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a block. And in this block is going to have all of the transactions. So Sipti wants to send money to John. John wants to send money to Tom. Tom wants to send money to Fred. Fred wants to send money to Sarah. Okay? All the people who want to send money, they send their information into the Bitcoin program, and then the Bitcoin program needs to make a block. Okay, what's a block? It's just a like a database. It's just
Hardware.
a list of it. No, just a list of information. Tom gives Sipti 1 Bitcoin. John gives Tom 1 Bitcoin, like that. All of those together into a block. And then the block has to be mined. So the Bitcoin program will search through hash functions until it finds a special number. That number has a lot of zeros in front of it because the number is very, very low. If the Bitcoin program on your computer or my computer or anyone's computer finds this special code, then it will take all of the transactions. Tom gives Sarah 1 Bitcoin. Sipti gives Sarah 1 Bitcoin. It takes all of those transactions plus the special number plus the date and time and a nonce, and it doesn't matter. And then it gives that block to everyone else on the internet. That block is special because it only can fit to the one before it. So it's like this. Each block only sticks to the block that comes before it. If you try to take this block out and add it to this one, everyone else's computer can see that it doesn't fit. The blockchain, it's called the blockchain. There is
Every piece.
Each block gets added together to the one before it, like this, into a very, very long chain called a blockchain. And it has within it, each block has Sipti gives John 1 Bitcoin. John gives Tom 1 Bitcoin, like that. Each of those transactions is in a block, and the block gets added to the list. And then when the program is done looking for that block, then it starts to look for the next block, like this. And it keeps getting built longer and longer and longer and longer and longer, like this. Okay? So how it does that is a little bit complicated. You have to be a programmer a little bit to understand how these can fit together. But for us, it doesn't really matter. All you have to understand is that each block can only fit to the block before it. So what that means is that all the computers on the internet can connect to each other, and they can download this blockchain, and they can see that this block can only fit here, and this block can only fit here. So then we don't need DigiCash server anymore. All you have to do is download the Bitcoin program, and then the Bitcoin program will download the blockchain, and then your computer will be able to see who sent money to him, who sent money to him. It can check who has money because it has a list of the blockchain. Now, you say, well, John, why can't I just make a new blockchain? And then I can trick the other computers. The reason why you can't is because when these blocks are built, they are built trying to find a very special number. And finding that special number is very, very hard. It takes a lot of computers a long time to do it. So if you find one, it's very special. And for one computer to find just one is very, very hard. So if you wanted to build your own blockchain, it would probably take 10,000 years unless you had a really, really, really amazing computer. So you can't build your own blockchain because you don't have enough computers to do it. All the computers together are looking for the special number. If one of them finds it, it tells all the other computers about the special number, and then all of the other computers say, yes, that's right, and then they add the next block to their chain. If you find it and it fits, if you find the next block and it fits to the one before it, then all the other computers online, they say, yes, good, and then they give you Bitcoins. If your computer finds this special block, like this, then it gives you Bitcoins. It writes in the block, it says, Bitcoin gives Sipti 50 Bitcoins. That's where Bitcoins came from. They came from people who were mining for these blocks. So a long time ago...
First time you download application.
Yeah, but nowadays you can't do it anymore because too many people are trying to find Bitcoins and it's too difficult now. But 10 years ago, it wasn't. Anyone could just download the Bitcoin program and their program would look for these blocks and it would find them and people could get 50 Bitcoins or 100 Bitcoins every day. So those people are very rich now. Those people are driving around in Ferraris and they own a lot of houses and properties.
Most of them are programmers.
No, there were just people who thought it was cool, people who thought that it was a good idea, and people who realized that the internet needed some type of new money. Okay, so do you understand that, kind of? A little bit?
I think.
Okay, do you have any questions?
If right now people want to...
Just about this first.
no.
Don't skip ahead to the other things. Just about this. So what's this?
Block.
Block. This is a block. And
Piece
what's
of-
this?
Other piece.
But what do we call this?
This called
Blockchain.
blockchain.
Blockchain, that means one is connected to the other. So each one of these represents a block, and this represents the blockchain. Okay,
Chain.
so then Bitcoin is not easy to destroy. So for example, if I write John gives Sipti 1 Bitcoin, which now is 2 million baht.
2 million baht.
Yeah, for one.
Bitcoin.
Yeah. So then you download the Bitcoin program. Okay, pretend you download, comes to your computer, and then your computer will call my computer and say, give me this block. So then your computer downloads this block. So let's pretend that you have the same block as me. Here it is. So you download the block, you downloaded the block, and you write on there, John gives Sipti 1 Bitcoin. Okay? So let's just pretend that we have the same block here. Now, you have your blockchain. It's the same as mine, but we're just pretending. You have your blockchain, I have my blockchain. And now let's say that the police come to my house and they say, John, we don't like Bitcoin anymore and we're going to destroy it. We're going to shut it down like DigiCash. So then they come to my computer and they delete my computer. They destroy my blockchain. They destroy my computer. They burn all of my documents and say, okay, we're shutting you down. They say, haha, we destroyed Bitcoin just like DigiCash. So then they leave, and then I download the Bitcoin program again, and I ask for your block back, and and I just download it again. John gives Sipti 1 Bitcoin, and now my blockchain is repaired. So you cannot destroy Bitcoin very easily because it doesn't exist in one place.
Because
Each
give and get, right?
No, because there are thousands of people, millions of people who all have the blockchain. So if you destroy one blockchain, it doesn't matter because there are 50,000 other Bitcoin blockchains.
Because information stay with all.
Yes. So you can't destroy it because we only need one blockchain. So even if somebody downloaded the blockchain, which you could fit on one memory card, which is this big, and you hid it somewhere in the forest, and then after 100 years, you took it out and you plugged it back in, Bitcoin would continue again.
Like we said Gmail or email to other people, and our computer broke, and we can download from other
Yes,
people
similar to that. Yes,
email.
similar to that, but much more complicated than that because in the
There's
case
a
of
tool.
Gmail, you need Google to be accessible.
But
But
it's not.
Bitcoin, you don't. You just need someone else who has the blockchain. Anyone can give you the blockchain on
Internet.
a flash drive, on a phone. You could save Bitcoin on a phone and give it to your friend, and they could download it onto their computer, and then they would have the blockchain, and they can verify who has Bitcoins. So anyway, that's why Bitcoin is difficult to end. So when that person created Bitcoin, people were confused at first about what it was, but a lot of people who were programmers looked through the program and said, wow, this is a great solution to that problem that we had. Bitcoin, when it started, wasn't worth any money. It was free. You just downloaded the program, and your computer looked for Bitcoin, looked for blocks, looked for special numbers, and if your computer found it, then your computer would get 50 Bitcoins.
50
50 Bitcoins. Every 10 minutes, 50 Bitcoins were given out. Some people think that Bitcoin mining is anyone can get Bitcoins. It's not like that. Every time that a block is made, 50 Bitcoins are given to the person who finds the block. But it's not easy to find a block, and you cannot find as many blocks as you want. Only every about 10 minutes, a new block is created. The Bitcoin program won't allow more blocks to be created than that. So some people imagine that Bitcoin can just be mined by anyone, and they say, I'm not going to buy Bitcoin because I can just mine for Bitcoin and get my own free Bitcoins. It doesn't work like that. The Bitcoin program controls how many blocks are created in a certain amount of time. So mining for Bitcoin is not easy, and you can't make any money doing it unless you have some type of special access to electricity or something. You can't mine for Bitcoin anymore. But a long time ago you could. Every 4 years about, the Bitcoin program will reduce the amount of Bitcoins that are given out by half. So first it was 50, then it was 25, then it was 12 and a half, and then now 6 or I might even be at 3 now, I'm not sure. But it keeps going down every 4 years. So the amount of Bitcoins that are released keeps going down, and they become more and more rare. That's why the price is going up, is because more and more people want Bitcoins, but less and less Bitcoins are given out. That's intentional. The person who built it was trying to do that. They wanted Bitcoin to be rare so that the price would go up and that people would be interested in it, right? If they hadn't done that, if the programmer who made Bitcoin just said, release 50 Bitcoins forever, and then increase the amount of Bitcoins as time goes on, we wouldn't be talking about Bitcoin now because the price wouldn't have gone up. So anyway, the person who made Bitcoin was very, very smart. And what they created was the blockchain. The other parts of Bitcoin are not very complicated and not really special. Anyone who knows about programming and networks and keys and cryptography can understand that. The only thing that was created was the blockchain, and the only reason the blockchain had to be created was to stop or prevent the need to have a server. Everyone has their own copy of the Bitcoin blockchain, and so there's no need to ask one person if it's real or not. We can look for ourselves if it's real or not, for ourselves. Okay, so questions?
How Bitcoin work? What Bitcoin working? It's work for.
Question?
If we have.
I don't understand the question.
If I have Bitcoin.
Okay.
Coin.
Okay.
How can I
You be rich.
use it to make money from?
Okay, so okay.
I don't know how to work.
people are interested in Bitcoin now, people who don't understand Bitcoin because they think they're going to get rich, right? That's not really what Bitcoin was made for. It kind of was a little bit. It was the amount of Bitcoins were restricted so that the price would go up and people would hear about it. But it's not really the point of Bitcoin was not to get rich. The point of Bitcoin was to solve the problem of internet money. So, but yes, how do people make money having Bitcoin? They made money by mining for Bitcoin in the beginning. They got a lot of Bitcoins, or they bought Bitcoin when it was cheaper. So when people started mining for Bitcoins, they weren't worth anything. There was no value. It was just a number on your computer. That's it. They didn't have any value. And so people were interested in Bitcoin. They thought it was cool, but it didn't have any value. It wasn't worth anything. It's not like one baht where okay, this is one baht, this costs one baht. Bitcoin didn't have a value. And so people started to think, well, this is cool, but how do we know how much it's worth? And so the first person to solve this problem was on a Bitcoin website talking about Bitcoin and all the people who wanted to use Bitcoin. And he said, I will pay 10,000 Bitcoins to someone who orders me a pizza. That was the first Bitcoin transaction. The person said, I have 1,000,000 Bitcoins or 10,000 Bitcoins and I can't spend them. I don't know what they're worth, but I'm going to try. So he said, someone order me a pizza, you pay for the pizza with your credit card, send it to my house, and I'll give you 10,000 Bitcoins. And someone on the website said, I'll do it. And that was the first Bitcoin transaction. So in the beginning, 10,000 Bitcoins equaled 2 pizzas. That was the first time that Bitcoin was used. Then after that, exchanges started to be built. Just like the Hoon, people made websites and they started to exchange Bitcoins for money. And now Bitcoin has a value because of those exchanges. So many people ask me, they say, John, is Bitcoin like PayPal? No. PayPal is just a website sending US dollars or Thai baht between people. It didn't create a money. It just helps you to send your baht from you to your friend. Bitcoin is money. It's another kind of money. It's not like paying someone using a website or using PayPal or using Bangkok Bank. Bangkok Bank just takes Thai money and allows you to transfer it. It didn't create its own money. Bitcoin is a new kind of money. And the value keeps going up because the amount of Bitcoins are going down and because more and more people are interested in it and they think they're going to get rich, so the price keeps going up. When I first heard about Bitcoin, it was $20. Now it's 2 million baht for one. So you say, well, John, why aren't you rich? Why didn't you buy it? I'll tell you. Because when I heard about Bitcoin, people were saying, don't buy it because it's too expensive. It had gone from 1 baht up to 1,000 baht. That's when I heard about it, because people were talking about it because it went up from 1 baht to 20 baht to 1,000 baht. And so people said, don't buy, it's going to go down. Well, now it's at 2 million. So unfortunately, I should have not listened to them, and I should have put all of my money into Bitcoin at that time. Now, I don't recommend that people do that now, because just like I didn't in the past, it does go down. It went up to 1 million baht, and then it went down to 5,000 baht.
Down.
Well, I'm just saying that it went up to 1 million, and then it went back down to 60,000. And a lot of people 3 years ago were crying because they lost everything. And now Bitcoin's 2 million. It will go down again, and then you should probably buy when it goes down and people stop talking about it.
Or it can up and down.
It goes up and down really, really
Like
high
moon.
and really, really low. No, the stock market, just a little bit. Bitcoin goes really, really high and really, really low. And then when it goes high, you see little kids with Ferraris. And when it goes low, you see people crying in the streets.
Depends on people who interested in that or everything. Like in depends on element other business. I mean Bitcoin will up or down.
It just depends on who's buying it.
Depends on people.
Yeah. So if you say, I really want to buy Bitcoin, I'm putting my money in it, it goes up. If you say, it's a scam, I got to get out of here, then it goes down. It's just what people believe, right? Okay. So anyway, I think that's an okay explanation of Bitcoin. Questions?
We can use it to instead money right now.
Yes, but a long time ago, it was hard to find places that accepted Bitcoin. Right now, still, not very many places accept Bitcoin. And actually, it's not that great to be used because there's a lot of fees. You have to pay the miners a lot of fees. I was going to send you Bitcoin, but the cost now is like 2,000 baht just to send Bitcoin. Because there's so many people using it right now because it's so high that the cost is too high. So I'm going to send you another coin instead. Anyway, so Bitcoin, after Bitcoin was created, other people started to say, well, that's cool, I'll make my own coin. And so they took the Bitcoin program and they copied it and they changed it a little bit and they made their own coin. So now there are thousands of coins.
But that is bad.
No, it's good. But they are not worth as much as Bitcoin. And they may never be worth as much as Bitcoin. They may be worth nothing. Bitcoin may be worth nothing. Depends on who you ask. But Bitcoin is number one. And the other coins are not as popular. But some of them are popular. Like Litecoin, which was number 2. And Ethereum, which was close to number 3. It was one of the biggest third creations. I don't know if it was 3 or not. But Ethereum is also very popular. Many people have gotten rich. Ethereum now is 60,000 baht for one. And I think Litecoin is about 9,000 baht for one. When I first heard of them, I remember Ethereum was maybe 1 baht for one. And Litecoin was 10 baht or 20 baht. I didn't have any money. And I couldn't even buy. I didn't even have money back. I didn't have any money for any of those. Anyway, so I'm going to show you now, because we don't have that much time. I'm going to show you what Bitcoin looks like and how to send it. So do you have your phone?
The internet very slow.
Oh, well, you're going to ruin our show. Sifti's going to ruin our show with her bad internet. Anyway, there's some problems with Bitcoin because there is no owner, okay? So that means that your password is only known by you. So, for example, if you lose your password for Bangkok Bank, you can go to Bangkok Bank and you can say, I forgot my password, give me a new one. If you forget your password with Bitcoin, there's no one to call. It's gone forever. Some people have lost hundreds of millions of baht. There's one guy, he had all of his Bitcoins on one computer, and then he threw the computer away, and now he lost 70 million.
And he didn't send to anyone.
No. So you have to be very careful with Bitcoin because if you make a mistake, no one can help you, right? But it also means that there's no boss. So for example, if you want to send 1 million baht right now to your friend in America, probably the bank will do some type of investigation to make sure that the money is yours, that you didn't steal it from someone, that you didn't get it from some bad actors or something. You have to prove that you got the money from somewhere correct. Bitcoin is not like that. So, for example, if you want to get Bangkok Bank, you have to be a Thai citizen, or you have to have some type of proof that you work in Thailand or something like that. They need your name and your date of birth and all those things. Bitcoin doesn't need any of those things. Anyone can have Bitcoin, and anyone can send Bitcoin to anyone in the world. So right now, if I wanted to send money to my friend in Spain, I would have to use PayPal, and I would have to pay a lot of money to do it. Bitcoin, I could send 100 million baht in 5 minutes, 10 minutes to anyone in the world who has a phone.
No charge.
There is a charge, but it's not that expensive if you use some of the other coins. So anyway, the Bitcoin program was designed for computers. It's not really designed for phones. So the Bitcoin programs on phones are not that secure. You have to be careful which ones you use, because they can steal your money. And if they steal your money, there's no one to call. You can't call the bank and say someone stole my money. There's no one to call. I remember one of the biggest bank CEOs in the United States. He was on YouTube on TV a couple years ago, and he said, Bitcoin people need to be careful because the police are going to go to that Bitcoin company and shut them down. There is no Bitcoin company. There's no one to call. There's no phone number. So if you don't take care of your Bitcoins by yourself, by understanding what you have, you lose everything. I've lost a lot of money on exchanges because they had my Bitcoins and then they went bankrupt and I lost my money. So I have lost a lot of money, and other people have lost a lot more than me. So if you don't understand Bitcoin, you shouldn't really have it because you will lose it, or you won't understand what you have and you'll make a mistake, okay? So anyway, the program that we're going to use today is called Coinami.
Coin.
So go to the App Store.
I think it's very slow.
Well, then you're going to ruin our show, and we're going to have to send Sipti into the gulag to get beaten. Anyway, go to the App Store if you can, and then download a program there called COINOMI. Now, remember, this program at any time, yeah, exactly, the first one. This program at any time, they are not owned by Bitcoin. Bitcoin doesn't own them. There is no owners.
First?
No, not that one. It looks like this. This one at the end, the white circle with the dots in it.
Second. Yes.
Yeah, that one, exactly. So if this program, the people who made this program decide to steal your coins someday, they could. Hopefully they don't, but they could. So you should not put all of your money
Very slow.
in these applications, because you could lose everything, right? Okay, the other problem is that these programs use a phrase to save the key. So it's kind of like a password, but not exactly. So when you download the program, if Sipti's phone will allow us to, maybe tomorrow we'll have to continue this.
I have to buy internet more.
But if tomorrow we can continue if Sipti's phone doesn't allow it. But anyway, keep trying. And when you download this program, or other programs, you will see a list of words. It will say red, hat, dog, sword, phone, and you have to take those words and you have to write them down in a book and save them. Because if your phone is broken or you lose your phone, then the Bitcoins are gone forever. There's no way to get them back, and it's impossible for anyone to help you. There's no one who you can go to, there's no one who you can call, and there's no way to fix it. So when you download the program, it will open and there will be a list of words. And some people, they don't understand. They don't understand, and so open it up and hopefully...
Create a new wallet.
Yes.
And what?
Exactly. So you see there, those words you have to write down. No, don't. Okay. You can't show people.
Write a book.
We're going to get you a different wallet so you can show people, but show people what it looks like. Now, the thing is though, is that we can't use this now because other people can see those words and they could steal your money.
Like password. Like
yes.
code.
But it's a special password for only your device. No one else knows it. And if they do know it, which they do now, then they could steal your money. Okay? So anyway, what you have to do is you have to write all of those words down in a book or somewhere that you can save it.
All of these?
Yes.
Just blue?
Yes. And after that, then the program will start and then you can get Bitcoins, right? So we will change Sipti's wallet, and then we will tomorrow we'll send Sipti some Bitcoins. Anyway, so you have to write those numbers. You have to write those words down somewhere in a book where you're not going to lose it, and so no one else is going to see it. If you show anybody those words, or anybody sees those words, they can steal your coins. So you have to save it and you have to make sure that no one sees it, right? So then after you save those words, then your phone can make a special key from those words. And that is your wallet. So then it looks like this. So you can have different coins here, and anyone can accept coins or send coins. So if I want to send a coin to someone, then I would go to Bitcoin. You see I have none. And then I would go to receive, and they will show you I don't want to show it, but they will show you a QR code, and then another phone can send you coins to the QR code or to a message that you have. There are many different coins. You can see here I have Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin. And it's that easy. So anyone with a phone can send and get Bitcoin just by downloading a wallet. You don't have to only have the Koinami one. That's just the one that I use. There are many other ones. You can research which ones you want. But it's very simple. Once you understand, you just download, you save the keys, and then the hard part is getting the coins. So how are you going to get the coins? You need someone to send them to you. Who's going to send them to you? Someone who has them. How did those people get them? They got them from someone who mined them originally.
That means if Bitcoin very important, we can use Bitcoin. We can get Bitcoin and from someone, like we give them a house, and they give me Bitcoins.
Yes, exactly. Now, many people ask me, John, they say, 1 Bitcoin is 2 million baht. What if I don't want to buy something that's 2 million baht? How do I buy something that's 1 baht? Bitcoin doesn't work. No, Bitcoin can be broken down into 8 decimal places. So you can send 0.00001 Bitcoins. So Bitcoin is 2 million baht for one, but you can send just a small piece of a Bitcoin. And on the applications now, there is a connection to the exchange, so you don't have to guess. You can say, I want to send 50 baht, and the program can calculate how many Bitcoins that is.
0.00.
Yes, exactly. So you don't have to look at that. You can just use baht. So you see on my phone here, I have dollars, but you can change it to whatever you want. You can change it to Thai baht. So let me see if I have Thai baht on here. THB.
But
So then you can see that I have 1,726 Thai baht. And if I wanted to send that to someone, I will send that to Sipti when we get Sipti's wallet.
But we should choose smart enough to use it because we don't know when Bitcoin will low.
Exactly. So remember, this is worth 1,726 baht right now because it's high. But if Bitcoin goes down, then tomorrow I could have 50 baht. Or tomorrow I could have 10,000 baht. So Bitcoin goes up and it goes down. Right now it's very high. That's why people are talking about it because people have gotten very rich. So 6 months ago, Bitcoin was worth about 250,000 baht, and now it's almost over 2 million. So if you bought one Bitcoin 6 months ago, you made a lot of money, right? Anyway, that's the end of part 1 of Bitcoin, and then tomorrow we will first get rid of Sipti's wallet because she needs a new wallet because people saw her wallet, and then I will put Sipti's Bitcoin address in the YouTube comments. And if you want to send Sipti Bitcoins, you can send Sipti Bitcoins. Make sure not to send her a lot because she might lose it. She doesn't really understand. I will try to make sure Sipti writes down the key correctly, but I can't guarantee that Sipti won't lose her Bitcoin. So don't send her very many. Anyway, a lot of people use Bitcoins for charities. They have a lot of online websites that accept Bitcoin, and a lot of people accept Bitcoin themselves. So they say, I'm going to sell my car or my house, and they accept Bitcoin for people who want to pay using that. But there's not that many stores that accept Bitcoin. So 7-Eleven doesn't accept Bitcoin, and you can't pay anyone.
Special group who know about Bitcoin.
No, just anyone who wants to accept it. So if you listen to this and you understand Bitcoin now, then you could accept Bitcoin for your paintings. So you could say, I'm selling my paintings, you can pay me 50,000 baht, or you can pay me in Bitcoin. That's fine. So anyone who wants to accept it, right? So a couple more things. A lot of people think that Bitcoin is dangerous because there's a lot of criminals that use it. That's true because it's not difficult to download and to have. It's not actually that anonymous, but there are other coins that are. So I hear people arguing all the time. They say that Bitcoin is actually not anonymous. It's not dangerous because it's easy to track who sent Bitcoins. But that will change when people start using other coins that are encrypted or that have some type of zero proof verification or whatever. So eventually Bitcoin and other coins will be very hard to trace, and that was the point, was that you were supposed to be able to send money to anyone at any time and no one knows what you're doing. But in the future though, I would guess that, in my opinion, that all companies in the future will have their own coin. So a lot of people now are imagining that Bitcoin is just one coin and they think that everyone is going to use one coin. That's not going to work because it's not really designed for that. Bitcoin is kind of slow and it can't handle a lot of transactions. It's not actually that great for everyone to use Bitcoin. But in the future, because Bitcoin is easy to replicate, it makes sense that each company in the future copy. It makes sense in the future that every company will build their own coin. So Microsoft coin, Google coin, whatever company, you start a new company, you make a coin, and then if your company is doing well and you want to sell stock in that company or you sell your products using the coins, then people will probably do that. So I would imagine that in the future, for example, if you want to buy an iPhone, then you will have to buy Apple coins first. You buy Apple coins using whatever company you work for. So maybe you work for Google and you get paid in Google coins and you want to buy an iPhone, you exchange your Google coins for Apple coins and then you get to buy them. That's what I would imagine is one possibility for cryptocurrencies in the future. They're called cryptocurrencies. These are called cryptocurrencies. All of the coins that came from Bitcoin. And they are much better than other types of money. So having paper money is not really useful. Using gold is not really useful in person-to-person transactions. And if you want to send money across the country or to someone far away, using banks within your own country is very difficult. So in Thailand, you can send money pretty easily to your friends or to your family within Thailand. But if Sipti wanted to send 1,000 baht right now to someone in Germany, I don't think Sipti could do it. But if you have Bitcoin, you can. So Bitcoin is much better than other types of money. And the only problem is the transaction rate and what the value is. So people don't like Bitcoin because it goes up and they're rich and then it goes down. So you buy Bitcoin and then tomorrow you can buy a Ferrari and then the next day you can't even buy bread because it goes up and it goes down, right? But if coins are attached to companies, which I think probably in the future, because that's what I would do, in the future, the prices of these coins will stabilize as they start to be connected to other real-world assets. Other countries now are trying to make their own coins. So China now has their own coin. It's called digital yuan. It's not like Bitcoin. The government owns it. It's like DigiCash. It's actually a lot like DigiCash. If you want to send money, you have to connect to the government computer. But Bitcoin is very different. Bitcoin is kind of like money from 100 years from now. I really can't imagine how Bitcoin would have emerged if it wasn't for Satoshi Nakamoto coming up with this idea. It's a very good idea and it works. It's not that complicated if you understand programming, and it was a very, very beautiful solution to a really, really complicated problem. So I am a programmer, and this is one of the best computer programs that I have ever seen. The idea of this is far beyond any programming that I have ever seen. And so when I saw it at first, as soon as I heard about it, after I learned what it was, I was fascinated. And the reason why we're here partly to do this show is because of Bitcoin. So I didn't have enough money to make this show with my grandma's money by itself. I put all that money into Bitcoin, and that's how I have enough to pay for this show. So we are here because of Bitcoin, and that's why I'm talking about it on the show. So thanks to my grandma and thanks to Bitcoin, that's why we're here. Anyway, we're going to send Sipti Bitcoins on the next episode. Stay tuned for that. And that's going to be the end of our show. Any questions from Sipti about Bitcoin? You can write some questions down next time.
No. It's hard.
Yes.
Very hard.
Really, really complicated. Remember, it took me 6 months, and I was a programmer for 15 years. It took me 6 months to understand. It's difficult. But if you look online, there are a lot of easy explanations now. Okay, anyway, that's the end of our show. Any questions?
No.
Thank you so much. If you want to see Sipti being the next Bitcoin millionaire, just add her on Instagram. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
ขอบคุณค่ะ